Do you have a media representative here?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. He's at lunch right now, but...
Oh, he's at lunch?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that the chief?
Stop recording. Stop.
17
I'm asking
former...
you to stop recording.
Have ID on you?
I do not.
Hands in your pocket.
You're not getting any identification, and I'm not going to stop recording.
What's
Anybody
your
comes to the library.
What's your prerogative to knowing where the Constitution is in a library when you can pull it up on your phone?
Sir, that's a ridiculous statement because you could literally look up any book on your phone.
Exactly.
Picture yourself at Blanco City Hall, microphone ready, chasing a story of vanished evidence and whispered misconduct. You approach the police chief, badge number in hand, and drop the bombshell. 800 items missing, allegations of destroyed evidence, improper relations with staff. No evasive maneuvers will save him. What truths will he reveal or conceal when pressed? Let's begin.
In tyrannical allegations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just left the Blanco City Hall. Let's take a look around the Blanco Police Department, see if we could speak to Chief Rubin and ask him the tough questions. Hey, how are you?
All right, what's going on today?
Nothing much. How are you?
All right.
Good, good, good.
What can I help you with?
Just taking a look around.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
What's this about?
Can I just get your name and badge number, sir?
Okay. Yeah, I'm Officer Rodriguez. Badge number 208.
Thank you, Officer Rodriguez.
Of course, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. You having a good day?
Yeah, great day.
Very cool.
Beautiful day outside today.
Okay.
Officer Rodriguez, I do have some questions for you, though.
Okay, hang on. What's this in reference to?
Oh yeah, just
Are you
some
media
questions.
or something? Because I'm not the media representative.
Do you have a media representative here?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. He's at lunch right now, but...
Oh, he's at lunch?
Agency. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that the chief?
Yeah.
Hi, Chief. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, my name is Sean. Nice to meet you, Chief.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I just had a couple questions. I'm following up on an investigation that I'm conducting from the Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department. I was told that you were forced to resign from the department based on allegations of evidence missing, over 800 items missing from evidence lockup that was confirmed by a Gayla Robinson, a consultant. Is that true?
No, I submitted my 30 days notice and resigned in good standing. Retired in good standing.
You retired from the Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department in good standing. Did you self-destroy drug and alcohol by placing inside a 50-gallon drum secured behind an evidence shed?
Did not.
You did not do that?
No, I did not.
Did you have inappropriate relationships with multiple female employees, including an Elsie Serold, Detective Elsie Serold, as well as a, let me see here, city secretaries, home association employees, female office working for the department, even the mail lady at the USPS?
No.
You didn't have any inappropriate sexual relations with them? So if I were to request all these documents from Fair Oaks Ranch, I already did, but there's nobody, so if people, confidential informants came up to me and said that these things are true, that they're lying? These are former and current law enforcement officers that used to work for you at Fair Oaks Ranch.
I'm telling you, they did not occur.
Are you aware of the controversy that's happening right now with Chief Tim Mooring out of Fair Oaks Ranch? He worked for you, correct?
He did.
He was your lieutenant there while you were a chief?
Yes.
And now he's the chief of Fair Oaks Ranch?
Correct.
And do you know anything about the allegations that he is retaliating against his officers there?
I have no knowledge of that other than what was on the news.
What was on the news, right? Okay. So I'm just, like I said, I was just investigating. Why did you come to this department? Why would you leave such a high-paying job, a six-figure job? Right now you're making what, $50,000, $60,000? Is that what public records said? No?
That's not correct.
So you retired from Fair Oaks Ranch.
Correct.
For what reason, if you mind?
I've been there over 20 years.
Over 20 years, so you just decided to retire? And did you have any adversarial relationships? Was there any reason why people would lie about you and say these things about you?
I'm not sure who's lying about me. I don't know if anyone is lying about me. I don't know.
Well,
Where
they're former and current law enforcement officers that are telling me this information about the inappropriate sexual relationships with multiple females throughout the government there in Fair Oaks Ranch, the self-destroyed drug and alcohol by placing in 50-gallon drums. These are pretty specific allegations, Chief, and as well as the 800 items of missing drugs, jewelry, tools. And this was verified by a Gayla Robinson, Texas Association of Property and Evidence Inventory Technician. Do you know that person?
You would have to talk to her.
Do you know Gayla?
You would have to talk to her.
But do you know her?
You would have to speak to her.
I just wanted to know if you were familiar with her, that's all. So you retired there, you just retired there and you just got a job here at Blanco. Do the administration here at Blanco know about the allegations against you from Fair Oaks Ranch?
I know when I was hired here, they did a background investigation.
Were you ever involved in any type of federal lawsuit or anything?
A federal lawsuit? Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Okay.
Federal lawsuit?
No.
I don't believe I've ever been involved in any lawsuit.
Any lawsuit, right? So you just retired there. So is that normal for law enforcement? I'm just curious. Is it normal for law enforcement? It might be. I'm just curious. Is it normal for law enforcement to retire from one department and then go work as a chief for another department?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very normal.
So you're collecting 2 checks.
Correct. You retire
Good for you.
and you work for another city.
And you retire, you work for another city. Interesting. How long have you been here, sir?
3.5 years.
You've been here for 3.5 years. Okay, so no reason why former or current law enforcement officers would lie about you and say these things about you?
I have no idea. I'd like to know who is saying.
Right? Yeah. They're confidential. They don't want to. They don't want to release their.
Confidential.
Right. They don't want to release their names
I have
and everything.
allegations against. I'm going to make up some stuff and.
Right.
Say who I am.
I mean, I've confirmed them to be former and I've confirmed them to be former and current Fair Oaks Ranch police officers. Okay. Like I said, I plan on speaking to Detective Elsie Serold. Apparently, there was some inappropriate relationship you've had with her in the past. Never happened.
Never happened.
I heard she's having an inappropriate relationship with the current chief as well.
I've been
and that they destroyed documents. Do you know anything about that? When you retired, they destroyed documents in the evidence room through paper shredder.
I don't know.
You haven't been back there yet. You haven't been back to say hello to everybody. All right. Well, I appreciate your time here today, Chief. Like I said, I'm investigating both this department and Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department, and I decided to just make the trip over here to see what was going on and see if I can. I was lucky enough to be able to speak to you, so at least we got your side of the story, and I'll just continue investigating. I'll be doing some open records requests. I'll be speaking to the city manager. His name is, I got a card of his somewhere. What's his name? His first name?
Mr. Escovy is the city manager here.
City administrator, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. I'll be speaking with him about these allegations as well, just so we can get to the bottom of it, because there's serious allegations that need to be looked into: inappropriate relationships, evidence being destroyed unlawfully. A lot, not as bad as the Chief Mooring that I'm hearing about, but
well, I would tell you none of that is true.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it, Chief. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Officer Rodriguez, thank you.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
When leaders sidestep your questions and hide behind vague denials, remember, transparency is your right. File open records requests, cite specific statutes, and never accept no comment. Public servants answer to you, the taxpayer. Stay polite, yet unwavering. Record every word. Follow every lead. And let accountability guide your investigation. Truth depends on your persistence. Imagine cruising through a quiet suburban street when suddenly your massive LED billboard truck rolls into the police commissioner's neighborhood, calling out his corruption in bright lights. Within minutes, unmarked cars screech to a halt, masked goons swarm your rig, and armed officers demand your ID, all to silence a lone journalist.
It's right on my shirt.
Your name's right on your shirt?
Yep.
How do
You
you
have
spell?
ID on you?
How do you spell that?
You have ID on you, sir? It's Officer Poulos.
Officer Poulos, and your badge number?
You have ID on you?
I do not.
Put your hands in your pockets.
I do not have any identification
You don't
on
have
me.
any identification
I don't
on
give
you?
identification unless I've been suspected of committing a crime, Officer
Okay, I'm
Poulos.
asking you for your identification.
And I'm going to respectfully decline
What
that
are you doing
request.
here?
I'm peacefully protesting. What does it look
You're
like? Do you see?
peacefully protesting?
Peacefully protesting. See the
Protesting.
billboard truck?
Billboard truck?
Yeah, you see it? With all the different signs that's going to be on there?
That's gonna be on there? It looks like there's nothing on there right now.
Well, yeah, he's changing the settings right now, but yeah. It's a peaceful protest against the Nassau County Police Commissioner,
You
Patrick
have a
Ryder.
permit for that protest?
I don't need a permit. I don't need a permit. I'm not using any megaphones or doing anything of that
Got
nature.
a huge screen here.
Right.
Is that necessary?
Yeah, it's 100% necessary. I'm going to be out for 8 hours. I'm going to be here for a while, then I'm going to drive around. Why is he pulling in so fast? This is not an emergency. He can hurt somebody, and he's not even have his lights and sirens on. You see?
Sir, why can't you just cooperate with us?
Hired. Look, he hired 17
Stop recording. Stop. I'm asking
17
you
former.
to stop recording. I'm asking you for your identification.
No,
I don't understand.
no, you're not getting my
Sir, stay
identification.
over there. Okay.
You're not. Just stay in the truck. You're not getting any identification, and I'm not going to stop recording. Period.
Why
That's it.
you gotta- So you just have to be difficult.
I'm not being difficult. I'm exercising my rights. You took an oath to uphold those rights,
I am.
so you should. You didn't take an oath to
identification.
protect the...
I'm asking you for your identification.
And I'm telling you no. It's my Fourth Amendment right not to identify myself to law enforcement.
Okay.
You know who I am.
So for my safety, I'm going to pat you down, all right?
I don't consent to any searches or seizures. So you do what you do.
I'm not searching you. I'm going to pat you down to make sure you don't have any weapons.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures.
That's fine. All right? You got anything else on you?
I would appreciate it if you didn't touch me.
Sir, stay on the sidewalk.
I'm going on that sidewalk.
No. Just stay on that sidewalk.
I'm going to go on that sidewalk,
you're
sir.
not going to go on that
yes,
sidewalk.
I am.
Just stay on that sidewalk for right now. I'm asking you. Am
I being detained?
No. I'm
So,
asking you to
that's
cooperate
fine.
with me.
I don't
do
want
you have to.
Because, sir, I'm a free American. I can do what I
understand that.
want.
You're in the roadway right now.
I can do what I want. I want to get
an
this.
issue.
I want to get
That's
this.
actually an issue.
I want to get this officer's name and badge number. I'm allowed to cross the street.
He will come over to you. He will come over to you.
This officer came in here and he was very aggressive. Driving down like if this was some sort of emergency. A man peacefully protesting. No lights and sirens. Coming in. Extremely high speed. Do you see the Nassau County Police Department? I want you to stop recording. Why can't you just listen to us and cooperate? Let us violate your constitutional rights. So we have an undercover plainclothes unit here. Cooperate. You know, let me pat you down. Give me your identification, even though we know who you are. All right, so an unmarked Crown Vic pulled up. Looks to be a sergeant. Just want to make sure. How you doing, Sarge? Hey, how are you, Sarge?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Mind if I get your name and badge number, please?
Sergeant Scavuzzo, 822.
Thank you, Sergeant. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sergeant, you know I'm no threat to the commissioner. I'm not a threat other than, you know, accountability, but I'm not a threat as far as a physical threat or anything like that.
When authority sends goons instead of answers, remember that fearless reporting is our safeguard. Stand firm on your First Amendment rights, document with integrity, refuse unlawful demands, and expose wrongdoing, because shining light on corruption is the ultimate check on power. Imagine walking into your local library with a camera to research and film, only to have 5 law enforcement officers surround you, brandishing a no filming policy you've never seen. They label you suspicious, insist you need written permission, and threaten removal. No crime, just confusion and intimidation. What happens when public spaces feel off limits? Let's find out.
Yeah. Did we talk to you yet?
No, I haven't spoken to anybody at the library yet. No.
Okay. Did anybody from the library talk to you?
No, nobody.
Okay.
Why? What's up?
So, as far as I believe, you need written permission to film inside the library from the director.
I need written permission?
Yeah.
From the director of the
I'll
library.
get that in writing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Where are you coming from today?
Oh, I'm just visiting the library here, that's all.
Are you local or?
No, not local, no. No. Not local.
Where are you from?
I'd rather just not answer any more questions, if that's okay with you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no problem. So I think the administrative offices are over here. So they called you, but they didn't speak to me? I don't understand. Why did they call you? Because...
The library has a policy about filming. We're going to get it for you right now.
Okay. So no one from the library. Hey, sir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You mind if I get your name and badge number?
Kevin Shutrock, badge number's 82.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Slow day today?
What's that?
Slow day today?
Every day's different.
I just asked because, you know, 4 law enforcement officers for a man with a camera seems a little excessive, that's all. I'm not a threat. Not a threat to any of you guys. Or anyone. So the administration staff is through these doors right here, ladies and gentlemen.
So we got the policy for you.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Sir, how are you?
Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Sure, Sergeant Noble.
Sergeant
Badge
Noble.
51, yep.
So this is the library's policy?
Yes, number 18.
So it says recording within the building without express permission of the library director, written permission from all those being videotaped, photographed, and otherwise is prohibited.
Correct.
So are you a policy enforcement, sir? I don't need that. Thank you.
Policy enforcement.
Right. Do you enforce policies?
That's them here.
So why are you here if you're not enforcing the policy?
The director is enforcing the policy.
The director? And the director's name? Do you mind if I speak to the director?
She does not want to speak to you.
She doesn't want to speak to me?
No, sir.
So how do I know that she's... I don't know what... why can't I speak to her? She's a public servant.
I can't speak on her behalf.
Right. But you are, though, because you're bringing me a policy.
Correct.
Right. So that means
library.
you're speaking on her behalf.
Okay, if that's what you feel I'm doing.
Well, you are, sir. I mean, it's
I'm
pretty
not
obvious.
dispute it with you.
No, I don't want to dispute anything with you either, sir. It doesn't seem... You enforce the law. You're a law enforcement officer, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is not a law. This is policy.
Correct.
I am using the libraries for its intended purpose like anybody else would use it. I'm just happen to have a recording in my
But it's
hand.
against their policy.
Right, but their policy can't trump the United States Constitution and the First Amendment of freedom of press. I'm a journalist. I'm here conducting an investigation for a story and using the library for its intended purpose. I'm reading books. I'm looking at what they have here. How can you... That's like if they had a policy that said...
Are you filming other people without permission?
Well, it's funny that you say that because you're right below a camera. The library didn't ask me for permission to film me, sir. And do you know why they don't have to ask me for permission to film me? And why none of you who have body cameras on asked me for permission to film me today? Because you don't need the permission to film me because we're in public and there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in public, sir. So no one needs to ask for permission to film in public. Again, I'm not particularly wanting to film anybody. I'm filming books and...
Well, you're filming me, so I'm not...
Right. Well, you're filming me.
I'm that way, not you.
Well, okay, so your detective here is filming me. But again, no one has a reasonable expectation of privacy in public. I've been through this in federal courts before. Won some federal court cases in New York City regarding filming in public and filming law enforcement officers in the course of their duty as well, which you are. I just don't understand what is your purpose here to hand me a policy?
Because we got called of a suspicious person here, filming people, which is against their policy. So they would like you to leave.
A suspicious person. What about me is suspicious, sir?
That was filming people, walking around filming.
That's
what we got.
So by that standard, you're suspicious.
Why am I suspicious?
Because you're walking around filming people, sir.
No, we only film when we get to a call.
Right.
Per our policy.
Right, exactly. Per your policy, that's fine. And I have my own policies. I have a company, and my own policies say that I follow the United States Constitution, as you should, sir. You took an oath to uphold the United States Constitution 100%. And our constitutional rights. And has anybody complained? This is why.
That's why we got called here. Was from this
no. But the staff. Okay, so that's like if you, for example, that's like if you, sir. Again, I don't want to argue with you. I'm having a conversation with you.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So that's like if you came to a call because you complained. You're the law enforcement officer. You're the public servant. You can't complain on somebody for, you know what I mean? So they are workers here. Has anybody from the public complained that I'm a suspicious person with a camera recording them and violating their privacy in public? Which again, there's a camera right in front of you, sir, right above you.
When you walk in and I'm sure it says the suspect video recorded, I would think.
Right. So if I had like a shirt that said like you are being video recorded right now, would that be okay?
That I cannot tell you.
Like if I had like a t-shirt that just says you are being recorded at all times while you're next to me, that would be okay. Again, sir, my only thing is that no one asked me for permission to film me. I'm trying to use the library for its intended purpose. There is case law on these sorts of things. Like I understand that the library is what you would call a limited public forum. That means that it has to have reasonable rules in order to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm trying to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm not sitting there standing in front of anybody filming them. I'm trying to actually find the United States Constitution and some literature here to make sure that they carry it here. It's part of my investigation to make sure that they...
I will help you get that documentation.
Right. So, but that's fine. But why? Right. That's... Yeah.
are using it for your intended purpose.
Right.
To go find the Constitution.
That's fine.
Go right ahead.
Right, that's all. And the only thing is I'm holding a camera. I'm not here just to film. I'm here to use it. I'm here to...
You're good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No one's impeding your ability to film in here right now. So we're not taking the camera from you. We're not.
Right. Oh, I hope not. You don't seem like that's the type that would. But you know, I've been in situations where it's not been a good situation. But I hopefully that doesn't happen here today. But again, I'm not going to give you a problem. If you are going to enforce that policy, then that's the way for me to handle this in federal court, like I've done before in the past. And yeah, right, exactly. So.
Sir, can we help you like expeditiously get the footage that you need so that we can come?
Well, no, I'm not. It's not necessarily I need any sort of footage. I'm using the library for its intended purposes of using the library, of looking for books, my intention right now is to look for the United States Constitution, but I'm here to use the library for its intended purpose. I'm not here to strictly film. I happen to be filming and exercising my constitutional right while using the library. You understand? So it's like I'm using the library like any other citizen could. We have rights to use the library. And again, if that policy, I read your policy, sorry, I read the policy of the I'm sorry, not your policy, but you're the one that handed it to me, excuse me. But I read the policy, and the policy from the director, you know, it could say that people with hats can't come inside the library, or people of a certain color or a certain size. Would you say, hey, sir, they have a policy that, you know, your skin color is a little too dark or a little too light? Would you say that? No, right?
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
People you're working on or what it may have, or sensitive stuff, and they don't want to film. I'm assuming that's why they have this policy.
Right. Well, sensitive stuff in what? This is a public area, sir. There's nothing sensitive.
Children come and things.
Right. I'm not in a. Listen, I could be in a children's area, but I'm not in a children's area. No, but I know in every library there's a children's section that's cordoned off for children. Never went into that section. And I like how libraries are structured that way. That way, children can stay where the children belong.
So clearly, listen, I don't mean to cut you off. Clearly,
yeah, go ahead.
You're here for an intended purpose. How can we help you get to your intended purpose sooner rather than later? Because we're being tied up here.
Right, and I don't want you to be.
Taxpayer dollars are being used for us right now.
Right.
As a taxpayer,
by your choice.
You are correct. That you would like us to get back to our duties.
Right. Yes, I would love it. Right.
Beautiful. So how come? I'm so sorry.
Excuse me, ma'am.
How could we do that?
So just let me go about my business and look at my books.
So you stated that you were looking for the U.S. Constitution.
Right. Okay. Do you know where that is?
I do not. Not here, actually.
Because you don't work here. That would be a question for somebody that works here.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, sure. I'll talk to somebody that works here. No problem. Hey, sir. How are you? Mind if I was getting your badge number, sir?
Yeah, let me throw my camera first.
Oh, sure.
I just walked in.
Yeah, no problem, sir. I just like to get everybody's name.
Okay. Sergeant Donald Wilson.
Sergeant Donald, thank you.
6'3".
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hi, ma'am. How are you? Do you mind if where would I find a copy of the United States Constitution here?
I don't know. I'll take a look in the catalog and tell you in a second.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. How hypocritical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 law enforcement officers for a man with a camera.
There's 4 of us here.
Well, no, there was another officer here. Right. Seems like overkill. It must, you know.
You're right next to our police headquarters.
The police headquarters is next to here? Oh, I didn't know that.
You're free to film in our police headquarters in the front lobby if you want. We're open 24 hours a day as well.
Oh,
You're more than welcome
right.
to go there.
It's public, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
They would probably have to check with the students about me. I don't know if they started like
I'm late to the party, so what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just trying to use the library for its intended purposes here and look at some books, read some books.
Well, it doesn't
That's
look
all.
like you're doing much reading.
Well, because I'm talking to these law enforcement officers here.
You always come reading books with a handheld.
Oh, I record everywhere I go for transparency and accountability purposes, especially in government buildings, especially in a public building like this. Right.
Are you a First Amendment auditor kind of thing?
Well, I'm an independent journalist and an activist. I go around the country and exercise my rights.
So you understand, though, the concern that's again, I'm late to the party. Did
Right.
you express the concern to you as to filming in here?
The other sergeant over here showed me a policy that the library has. I haven't spoken to. First of all, while I was looking at books here and exercising my constitutional rights, no one came up to me and spoke to me and told me anything. It's when you guys came here, law enforcement, that I was. You guys told me that there was some sort of policy. They showed me the policy, and I understand that the policy exists. I've seen it with my own eyes. But again, my only response to that, Sergeant, would be that a policy can say anything. You're not policy enforcement. You're law enforcement. If the policy said that, white people couldn't come into the library or black people or.
The hyperbole is a bit much on that one.
Well, I mean, it's the same. It's the same
not,
thing.
No, because
you have a right.
No, this policy is very specific in that they don't want you filming unless you have prior approval. It makes no mention to conflate the issue with race or religion or gender or any other issue is disingenuous.
But how? Because
the policy specific.
You wouldn't enforce it.
That they'd like you to have prior permission before coming in because the library is accommodable. They'll make arrangements for you. I believe in independent media. I'm a big First Amendment guy too. All right, but the problem is, you're in a library, right? The school's right down the block. They're concerned also.
See, now you're conflating. Now that's disingenuous when you're talking about a school down the block. There's children everywhere, sir. If there was, listen, for example, if I was filming in front of the school on the sidewalk, sir, that would be, according to you, would be concerning. Okay. If I was filming outside of a school on the public sidewalk, there would be nothing that you could do about it, correct? Correct. So, because I'm doing it in a public...
But I'm talking about why we're here.
Right.
Okay? I'm not saying you're breaking the law. You said it's overkill. It's not overkill. We're next to the police station. The reason why we're here is because the staff called us. Because in their course of a day, right, or in their course of their daily business, they don't have people come and start videotaping and filming things. So they're doing their job. They have a policy, right?
But
That's
they're
why they
doing
call
it.
us.
They're literally filming everybody that walks into this building with public cameras, with taxpayer-funded cameras that are public record that anybody could.
So am I. I'm filming also.
Right. Okay. So you are in violation of the policy as well.
Because if anybody ever wants access to our videos, if there's juveniles on it, we redact it. So juveniles never get put out. When you do the eventual open request, I know you're going to submit. If there was a juvenile or somebody else in here, they would be redacted, right? We're not going to put out a juvenile
As per the Attorney General
on YouTube or anything like that.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a difference.
Well, I would put a minor on any sort of public.
Well, we don't know that. How are we supposed to know that? You won't give us your ID. You don't tell us who you are. So how do I know that?
Well, you never. I wouldn't give you my ID, but you didn't ask for it in the first place. But my name is Sean.
I'm late to the party, so I'm assuming they asked you for
No,
your ID.
they did not.
Probably told you no.
They did not ask me
and
for my ID.
I'm assuming when I ask you, you're going to tell me no.
You're assuming wrong. They never asked me for any ID.
Okay, well, you give me your name and ID so I can verify.
My name is Sean, sir.
Sean, and am I going to be able to? I need more than that to look you up to who you are.
Right. No, I don't want to be. That's I think that's overkill because I'm not trying to
what's
do
overkill
anything.
Is you coming in here and doing this, right?
Exercising my rights.
We have things to do.
So go do them, sir.
But now we're just going to leave you in here and you're going to walk around. Are you going to harass staff? Are you going to film children? You said you were here to read books.
Sir, was I harassing anybody? You said you're late to the party. What was I doing when you walked in?
I said,
was I harassing anyone?
Are you going to harass somebody?
Was I harassing anyone, sir?
No, you were walking around filming.
Okay. Was I looking at books?
I don't know.
Okay. I wasn't harassing anybody. So again, you're trying to make it seem that something that it's not. I'm not harassing anybody. I don't want to harass anybody.
Never said you were.
Okay, but you're trying to infer that that's if you leave, what are you going to do?
You're inferring that what I was inferring is wrong. I was asking you a question. I said, are you going to harass anybody?
All right, sir. I'm not. I don't want to listen. I'm not harassing anybody.
Don't tell me to listen because I have no choice but to listen to you.
Okay.
I'd love to be out doing other stuff.
So go do it.
Okay.
So go do it. Respectfully, go do it, sir. Yes, you can. You could say there's no crime being committed here. No one is being harassed. No one is causing a disturbance. No one is being disorderly. This man is politely filming. He's not raising his voice.
Are you going to film children if they walk by?
Sir, I'm not filming. I'm filming what I can see. I'm filming what I could see, which is the books right now and law enforcement right now. Okay. There's no children here, sir.
Obviously, right? But it's a library. Okay, so eventually, come recess or afternoon at recess, right? There's gonna be kids here. That's my primary point of concern, and that the staff, right? They're here just to do their jobs.
Right.
They're here to.
And I'm just asked. I asked this.
Then you're coming and asking where the Constitution is. I'm sure you have a cell phone in front of your smartphone. It takes you 2 seconds to pull it up.
So why would anybody come to the library?
What's your prerogative to knowing where the Constitution is in the library when you can pull it up on your phone?
Sir, that's a ridiculous statement because you could literally look up any book on your phone.
Exactly.
So why would anybody
Here we
come
are.
and why would a library exist? If you could look up all the information you want on your phone, why would a library
Provide
exist,
internet
sir?
access to people that don't have it at home, right? To give people a
Right.
place to come
I'm sure
study.
every single
To give
person in this
somebody
library,
a quiet space
sir, it's
to come
ridiculous.
study.
It's
What's
ridiculous. It's
Everyone has internet
ridiculous.
access?
It's ridiculous that you would think. I'm sure everybody in this library, if you ask them right now, they have internet access. Might be some.
No. We said, why does a library exist? Right? And what I'm telling you is that
The library
it's here.
exists for the public to
people
use
here
it
right now,
for whatever
the people
intended
here
purpose
right
they
now
want.
May have, yes, they may have internet access, right? But the people that may come may not, right? So there's no point in talking in hypotheticals.
Right, sir. Okay. Listen. I just want, ma'am. Did you find out where the Constitution was for me?
Yeah, we have a copy right here.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it. Do you have like a section where there would be one for
Well, this is the government books right
like just
there, and
well, like
the
where the government? Thank you.
If you
Just
go right in that section over there, we find the Dewey Decimal Number.
In the meantime, you're going to
the Constitution explained.
hammer out something, all right? But in the meantime, we'll just have an officer with them, and we'll just let him do whatever he wants to do.
The board is clear on the policy that they don't want anyone filming in here. I spoke with our board
We're good, sir.
president.
We don't need that.
So,
The Constitution explained.
so that is their stance on it. So that's why.
Yeah, that's what you called.
Yeah,
All right.
it is our policy.
Well, he's not willing to leave, so.
To be clear, you're not willing to leave, sir?
Oh no, not unless you're threatening to arrest me. Okay. So no, I want to use the library like anybody else.
All right. We have all your information.
I can't speak that down.
No, it's all good. He can just call for the problem, lives in here.
Thank you.
All right.
Ma'am, are you the library director?
I'm talking right now. Just 1 second.
Oh, excuse me. Are you the library director, ma'am?
Like last time, he was agreeing to leave. So, this guy's not. So we'll just babysit him for a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go from there.
Thank you.
You with that?
I'm good with that. Thank you.
Ma'am, are you the library director? Okay. Have a nice day, ma'am. Take care.
So,
Franklin Lakes Police have excess police officers on the force. They can just hang out in libraries.
no, that's it. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
Yep. So there's not a lot of crime here in Franklin Lake, sir?
You can look that up.
Oh, I was just asking
Use
you.
the internet access here to look it up.
Right. I know. I was just asking you. See, now you're just being confrontational at this
No,
point.
no. Library's a place of resource, piece of knowledge.
Right.
You have access to the internet, you can look it up.
Right,
I
I
don't
will.
know. Your definition of what a lot of crime is going to be comparatively different to what my definition of a lot of crime is.
Okay.
So I don't
You're
want
right.
to give you wrong information. I want to give you
Right.
false info.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Thanks, Sergeant. Yep.
When officials hide behind vague policies to block your camera, remember, in truly public areas, sidewalks, libraries, lobbies, you have a First Amendment right to film. Stay calm, ask for specific legal authority or written rules, and request a supervisor if needed. Policies cannot override constitutional rights. Document every encounter, know your rights, and don't let intimidation win.